go then.
Hi guys, it's Lewis here from Riff Media, and I'm here with Benji, the lead singer of Skindred. How are you doing, Benji?
I'm alright, you know, bro. I'm alright.
Good to know. So this is the second day of your tour. I saw you guys in Download 2011, sorry, on the main stage.
Yeah.
How does playing the main stage at Download compare to playing small venues like here?
I'm a show off, and it's just a chance to show off in front of bigger people. That's all it is. I was the class ham in school, and any chance I get, whether it's in a pub with 60 people,
yeah,
or Download with 70,000,
yeah.
I just love
Love playing, yeah.
I don't care, I don't care.
I've got to say, one of the most fun shows I've ever been to was your show at Download 2011. It was the first time I'd ever seen you.
Okay.
Mainly because I experienced the Newport helicopter for the first time.
I pulled it out of my ass that day. I did it before, but like, because we were asked not to do Walls of Death and all that, and I was like, what am I going to do? I like to engage the crowd. Yeah. And I thought, oh yeah, that helicopter thing. And then someone else said to me the year before, I went on stage, I think it was Sonosphere, and I said, let me hear it from the Irish, and they screamed, the English, and the Scottish, and I left the Welsh out, right? So all my mates were like, you fucking prick, could you leave us out for? Are you ashamed of Wales or something? And I said, nah, man. So it fell in my head, and I said, we're about to do the Newport helicopter, and it's like, just pulled it out, like,
it
you
was
know?
absolutely fantastic.
And I sort of like, you know, I was like my love for Wales, like kind of thing. Yeah. But everybody digs it, and the good thing about it, I believe that me and Skindred, we brought it to the metal scene. Yeah. And it's really cool that I keep hearing different bands are doing it now. Yeah,
I've seen a couple of bands try
it.
Yeah,
but you know what? They haven't got the new helicopter. And it's timing. I'm not even going to tell you the secret, but it's timing as well. Because people just say, everybody take your t-shirts off. Yeah. It don't work like that. Timing is all
gotta get it right.
But I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was good.
I managed to see it from the back. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, man. I watched it on video. I couldn't believe it. I was like, fucking hell, it worked. You know.
Little question here. What can your fans expect from this tour? Those who've seen you on the big stage.
Well, it's an intimate thing. It's closer, and you know they get to see. And like a girl said, she tasted my sweat last night. So it's
as you do.
You know, and she was fucking
best euphemism of the week.
And she was totally grossed out as well. Yeah. But it's good. Like I said, it doesn't matter where I play. I can't speak for Skindred, I can speak for Benji, and for me, it's like the way I look at it is like it's good that we can just play, and I'm happy to be whether it's small or big. You know, I'm cool.
I mean, obviously you DJ as well, don't you?
Yeah, I'm badass too. If you like one of the DJs, you book your Christmas party, your bar mitzvah, any of that shit, you call Benji Webbe, I fucking deliver the shit. Just thought I'd put that out.
I'll have to get that in for my other jobs interview then. Party. You guys have shared the stage with some great bands over the years, including 2 York bands already. RSJ with One Last Breath. RSJ tonight, Glamour of the Kill on the Jägermeister tour. Yeah. Over the whole years you played, who would you say you had the most fun playing with on tour?
Out of them bands or
no, in general?
Papa Roach, the fucking family. I don't even look at them like they're a band, you know. I look at Jacoby like a mate, you know. Disturbed are fantastic. There's a band in the States called Seven Dust, and it's mostly been American tours, and because they're the longest and you get to know people a lot more, you know. But definitely I'd say that Disturbed and Papa Roach, Seven Dust, for me they were the bands that just treated us like, this is your bus, this is your dressing room, and made you man, they don't sort of like, you know, your support and get away, you watch you know. None of that shit. It's just love, you know.
Yeah,
and I hope
it should be.
I hope that when we tour with bands, that we do that too as a band. I think, you know what, a lot of bands just get up there on the hill and they pull the fucking ladder up, bastards. You know, and everyone else does. They're trying to jump up, like, you know. No, I believe in leaving the ladder down, bro. Yeah. Come on, man. There's room. There's plenty of fucking room in this store. You know.
Yes, it's great to hear that. What influenced you as a band to? Because you have quite a range of genres within. I mean, you've got like the reggae.
Anything what's happening, we fucking jump on. We do all we want. I mean, music for me. I mean, like as a kid growing up. I mean, I'm older than the rest of the guys in the band. You know, and I grew up listening to like, you know, the radio, and the radio was putting out stuff like T-Rex and Bowie and all this amazing, for want of a better word, Western music. Yeah. And at the same time, I was being influenced by stuff like, you know, Lee Perry and all this heavy reggae stuff from my Crazy Rasta brothers, and you know, and I got into that, and I was like a tug of war thing. I was saying, which road do I go? And then I got that light, that road to Damascus experience. You do what the fuck you want. You know, there's no laws in music. Like, you haven't got to be in a genre. I believe the music Skindred makes attracts a lot of different people, and I think music is not. It's like church. You get rich people, poor people, fat people, thin people, black people. That's what music should be about. It shouldn't be about one thing. Well, that's what Skindred is about, bringing people together in that unity. You know, we're getting church of Skindred.
Couldn't agree more. I noticed that on your merch stall as well.
Yeah, I just remember that. I wonder where I got that from, yeah.
If you were to do a collaboration song, I know you featured in A Bullet for My Valentine song.
Yes, I did.
But if you were to do as like a Skindred merging with another band.
Another band?
Or artist.
Okay.
Who would you choose and why?
We were going to do this. I was going to sing a song for the Cancer Bats. And Liam was going to sing a song for Skindred. Just to see how it felt.
They played York last week, actually.
Yeah, they're great guys. So we were going to do that, but we'll see, we might even still do that. I'd like to feature with, I don't know if this is what you want, but I'd like to have Corey Taylor and Flavor Flav on the Skindred song.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with that one.
I think that would make me very excited because I love Corey Taylor, I'm a massive Slipknot fan. And I love Public Enemy, so that would be like, oh my god. I'd like that to happen, and you never know.
Never know, one day, yeah.
You never know.
Speaking of collaborations and mix-ups, your cover of Electric Avenue.
It's fucking horrible, isn't it?
I love it. I think it's one of the best covers out there ever.
Thanks, man.
What was your inspiration, and why as a band, why did you decide to cover that song?
Originally I used to tell a lie and say it was our idea, but the record label we were on at the time. Gotta tell the truth sometimes, guys. Yeah. The record label we were on, it seemed like they had a bet or something, because it's like they just wouldn't stop going on about us covering Electric Avenue. They felt it was American radio and Electric Avenue was real big. That Eddie Grant version was real big in America, and they was like, right, you've got all these record dudes who are now in their 40s, and when they hear something of which nostalgic and they like it, it's done really well, it'll make them want to play. That was their psyche behind it. Like, we did it 2 hour, like, you know, fuck, I don't want to do it, I don't know, but we did it and it was fun, and I hear that every day. Yeah, people dig it. People like it all the time.
In fact, that's the first time I'd ever heard of you guys when I heard that cover.
Wow.
And I've been a fan ever since. Speaking of, when I was saying about like the bands you've played with, what in general, what would be the highlight of your career in Skindred?
Okay, I'm a massive Korn fan. Always have been. I've seen. Good thing about it with Korn, my old band Dub were playing, and all this time I just kept seeing this Korn with a K. I'm like, what the fuck's this Korn with a K? So Helmet were playing, they were opening up for this Korn band. I'm like, shit, let me go check them out. Went to the Newport Centre in Newport where I live, and I watched Helmet, loved them. I watched Limp Bizkit went on first, I caught the end of them and I thought they were really cool. Seen Helmet, and then this band Korn, I'm like, okay, let's see what they got. And Jonathan Davis just kicked the fucking teeth out of my mouth. You know, and I just loved them, and they didn't speak till about the 10th track in, and they were real like distant and weird and like his stupid little dreadlocks, and you know, Fieldy doing his thing, and I just fell in love with them.
Yeah, brilliant band.
And fast forward years later, I'm in a festival with Robert Trujillo, he's a mate of mine, like, we're walking along together, like, and Fieldy comes up and goes, fuck me, Jonathan's sick, dude. Jonathan's real sick, and you know, we don't want to pull the show, but we want some dudes to sing for him. And Robert said, this is the boy right here, this is the man. I'm like, yeah. And he said, okay, what do you want to sing? And I was like, oh my god, no, I'm a Korn fanatic now, remember that. And I'm just a fan, like, oh, we all fans. And I got the guy whose band I love, like, you know, Fieldy, asking me what song would I like to sing of Korn's. He said, pick two. And I went, fucking Twist. And Adidas, that'd be amazing. But then I went, fucking hell, imagine if it's crap. And they start trucking piss at me. So I said, I'll do one. Done one. Went on stage. Loved every second of it. That was my dream moment in rock and roll.
Yeah, I can imagine that was...
And the best thing about it, right, we're in a van, and all the singers who were singing for Korn that day, there was about 6 of us, we all had to get in the van together at the dressing rooms, and we all had to meet, get in the van. You remember, I'm just like you guys, I'm rock and roll, and I love heavy metal music, so I'm sat in the van, I got the singer from Avenged Sevenfold. Nice. There's a band called 10 Years or Next 10 Years, whatever, I can't remember his name, but there's Corey Taylor, and there's Desi from flipping, you know, Cold Chamber, and me. I'm driving down to the stage. I felt like I was in the fucking Gladiators or something like that. Yeah, this is a monster thing. And one thing I remember, Corey was like encouraging everybody, because he sang last, I think. But when we were like, when one of the other singers went to walk away, he called, "Oh, what the fuck? Come on, man, we're all in this together." And he made us all stand at the side of the stage while each other performed. And I thought it was a dream for me. That I expected my mother to go, "Get up for fucking school, you're late." You know what I mean? It was I went, fucking dream's great, but it was a real thing, and that was probably the highlight of my time in rock.
Well, that's great. I didn't expect something that amazing, but yeah, it was brilliant.
It was just brilliant, mate, honest to God.
When you're touring, obviously you travel around the country, long hours. It was a long drive from last night's gig to here. Yeah. What's your favourite aspects of touring, and as well as your least favourite?
Well, the boredom is my least, and I can see why people do take drugs and get in the state, because it gets boring as hell. Boring as hell, just sat around all day long. Good thing about we're writing at the moment, so I got loads of time to write lyrics and melodies and stuff like that to the instrumentals that we got. What was the question? I fucking
it was just your favourite aspects of touring.
My favourite aspect of touring is the gig, going on stage. Obviously, from what I said to you earlier, you can see that I am genuinely, when I said I love playing, whether it's in front of 50 people or 50,000, you know. So I love rolling into a town. I feel like I'm in the circus, you know. The freak shows come to town, you know. We roll in, I walk around like fucking Huggy Bear with all my clothes on. People are like, "Who the fuck's that?" You know. And I say, like, you know, most of the people don't even hear of us, but those who do, they know that we're coming, and when we come in, we're bringing something magical.
That actually links with a question we had from a fan to ask about your choice of costumes on stage. They're very
out there.
Out there, yeah. I couldn't think of the word. And Download 2011, you had the Union Jack costume.
Yeah.
So what they wanted to know was, what's your influence behind them costumes? Do you make them yourself? Do you get them made?
I do make them myself. I do sit down physically with pen, with sewing, and the parts I can do, I do myself. For me personally, I always think a singer in a band, you know, needs to be larger in life, and I always wanted to be. There was a time when I just wore jeans and trainers on stage and t-shirts, but it was never enough for me. And when I watched Elvis Presley and the Pope, they always walk in a room and go, "Damn," you know. And I thought, you know what, I want to walk in a room and have that. Fucking hell. I don't care what reaction I get. I might go, "Fucking look at that black bloke." I might get that, or I might get, "Wow." I don't care, as long as I get something out of them.
Yeah.
You know, I love the costumes, you know. I wear women's jewellery, everything. I don't give a fuck. You know, I ain't got to work in Asda, you know. No disrespect to people who work in Asda, but I ain't got to, like, so I can do what I want if I want to do that. And I just look around. Michael Jackson's another one. I just love the larger than life.
Big, Kill Switch Engage.
You know what I'm saying? Freddie Mercury. They're just all larger than life characters, and I do want to be in the same world as them guys. You know, whether I ever make money or not, but I just want to be known as a great artist who give it all he had. Like, you know.
What would you say the most embarrassing thing has ever happened to you when you're playing?
Well, one time, my old band. I could tell you Mikey's story, then I'll tell you my story. One time I was in my old band, and I used to walk on stage, and I was much thinner then and more good looking. And I used to walk on stage, and I used to have like an army suit on with a string vest, you know, like an old man's string vest. But I had this World War II klaxon air raid siren. Now let me tell you something about these things. Once you wind them up, they ain't stopping for shit until they stop it. So I'm stood there now in the crowd.
I can, yeah.
I'm stood there now, and I've always been a bit portly, you know. And I'm stood there now, and I try to hide my, you know, by wearing baggy clothes and stuff. So I had this big black jacket, you know, and an army hat, and, you know, I wind up the siren, and I'm stood there in front of, like, you know, 60 people in a pub in Stoke-on-Trent. And I'm stood there in all my glory, and the fucking klaxon grabbed the t-shirt I had on and ripped it off my fucking back. I couldn't stop the thing from going around. So it turned from like, "I am God," into fucking Lord and Andy, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God. So I was real embarrassed, because like all the show there, because I could just see these girls were saying, "Look at his fat fucking stomach, fat bastard." You know, and I'm on stage and I'm trying to hide, and that was embarrassing as hell.
Yeah.
You know, I did kick the klaxon as well. Yeah. And I still got it as well in my house.
You still got it?
Still got it.
I thought you'd have burnt it after.
Nah, man, nah, I couldn't do that to me.
Finally, the final question was another one from the fans. In all the emails I got, it was the most common one. What would your plans be in the event of a zombie apocalypse?
me think now, because I've never been asked that before.
I wasn't sure to use it or not, but I thought.
Well,
yeah,
I get myself a radio, get myself a torch, get myself a shitload of goods. I'll be kicking ass, shooting them motherfuckers.
You sit back in here, they'd never get you.
I know. I like when they just shooting. So space would be good, like, you know, you're doing it on the all best. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so I don't really know the question, but I'll be shooting like fuck, you know. Yeah, but I'll be ready to take a bite too. Join that.
And finally, do you have any a message out to the fans who'll be watching this at home?
Okay, here we go. People, I just want you to know something. We have to keep rock and roll alive. The internet is a great thing. It's an amazing tool. It's, you know, it's really cool, and we can all take all the music we want, whether it's Skindreds or whoever. Anything you want is on there. But I'm telling you now, people who love punk music and independent rock music, we have to go to shows, buy tickets beforehand, and make sure you support whoever it is by buying merchandise. You've stole their fucking music, now go buy their merch. Peace, yo.
Right, thanks very much for your time.